Hello everybody and welcome to the channel Out of Ammo, Out of Time. I'm your host as always, Krabby Terror 8, and here we are in episode 3 of season 3 of the Investigator Games with everybody's favourite criminal ex-con, Skids O'Toole. Yes, and for those of you new to the channel, welcome. Welcome to the channel. What is the Investigator Games? It's like the Hunger Games. We take each of these poor hapless investigators true solo through a scenario. Now in Season 1 that was The Gathering, and of course Season 2 was The Midnight Mask, and here we are in Season 3 with a revised version of the Devourer below. Yes, and we see how they go, and depending on how they go, they end up in a league table like this one. And so far, we've only had 2 investigators in Season 3, and we can see at the moment, Roland is topping the table so far. Poor old Daisy didn't get very far. Spoilers. Double spoilers, really. If you haven't played Arkham Horror, the card game, before, please go and play it in real life. Please have a go. I'm assuming you know how to play a little bit, but I also recognize people come here relatively new because they want to see how these investigators go, and playing them true solo is a great way to focus on their abilities. Now, if you haven't seen Skids play through Season 1 and Season 2, I would also recommend you go and see how he did in those seasons first, and maybe come back here and see how he goes in Season 3, because I'm not going to go through everything in his deck, etc. You can see those in the previous seasons. So yes, and also I would also recommend watching the video on the Devourer below in terms of how we how the Investigator Games has changed this scenario for the investigators to make it more challenging, more random, and more interesting to play. So I'm not going to go through all of that as well. I recommend you watch that. It's only a short video, but it just outlines exactly how it all works. So yeah, Skids O'Toole, he is the rogue in the core set, so he's been around a while. Don't see him pop up that much these days, not sure why. Yeah, he's pretty good. If we just go through his stat line, and then we'll go through his special cards and his backstory, but basically he is 2 willpower, 3 intellect, 3 combat, and 4 agility. So that immediately tells you that he's going to be an evader, but you know, he can hold his own in a fight if he needs to, but evasion's going to be more of his thing. Quite a good all-rounder in the fact that he has 3 intellect as well, so he can hold his own in terms of investigating. Biggest weakness, of course, is a 2 willpower, which means that the encounter deck, the mythos, is going to really take a toll on him at times. So that's going to be a bit of a problem unless you've got ways to manage that. So he has a fast trigger, or fast ability, if you like, during your turn. So it has to be during your turn, so you can't use this at other times. With a lot of fast triggers, you can use them at other times, but this needs to be during your turn. You can spend 2 resources and take an additional action. So extra actions is his thing, and that really is at the heart of a lot of his strategy, is around being able to take lots and lots of turns. You can only do that once a turn, but at least it allows you at the very least to have 4 turns, but you can obviously increase that with other cards. So yes, having lots of actions, sorry, not turns, but actions, is great. And he has an Elder Sign effect, a nice hearty +2, and if you succeed, gain 2 resources. So that could be rather nice if you've spent 2 resources, and then you can gain resources. So the other thing about Skids, I would say, is that you've just got to be wary of running out of money. So what you want to be doing is having ways to keep the cash flow going, because you want to really be able to not only bring out the assets that you've got and spend things on events, etc., but you also want to be able to have those 2 resources to actually do that. So that can be a little bit of a challenge. So anything that's going to improve that cash flow and keep the money coming is going to be helpful, because you don't want to be staring down no money and you wish you could, do the extra, spend the 2 resources. The other nice thing about his ability is it's not an action ability. Well, it wouldn't be an action ability, but the ability is quite flexible, so you can decide when you want to spend the 2 resources as long as it's during your turn. I didn't get out of the joint just to watch the world end. 8 physical and 6 mental, bit low on the mental. So the two willpower, 6 mental. That's probably his biggest weakness, because any encounter deck things which are sort of hitting you with horror are going to be a bit of a problem for Skids, and something that you would want to manage. Now, if we flip Skids over and have a look at the other side, he's a deck size 30. This is all pretty standard in these core set investigators. He takes rogue cards 0 to 5, guardian cards 0 to 2, so rogue guardian, and neutral cards 0 to 5. He then has 2 special cards. One of them is On the Lam, which has 4 pips on it, intellect, agility, and 2 wildcard pips. So that's a lot. It's a 1-cost event. You can fast play after your turn begins. Until the end of the round, non-elite enemies cannot attack you. So you can do all kinds of things, can't attack you, as long as they're not elite. So that's a nice card to have. It's nice at a pinch if you're looking like you're getting surrounded, and in true solo that can happen quite easily, where you find yourself kind of a bit mobbed by monsters. But at the same time, those 4 pips make it very flexible to be used for other things as well. Hospital debts is his weakness. You put it into your threat area. You can move resources from a resource pool to hospital debts up to twice per round. When the game ends, if hospital debts has fewer than 6 resources, then you earn 2 or fewer experience points for this scenario. Now, that doesn't impact the victory points in the Investigator Games, so it's kind of a bit nerfed, if you like, for the Investigator Games, because we're not really, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, it is what it is, and so yeah, it's a bit nerfed from that perspective. Skids won't be worrying too much about that one, but in a normal game, that's going to be a bit of a drain on the resources as well. And then finally, the basic weakness that was chosen randomly was drawing the sign, which isn't too bad. It's basically reduces your hand size by 5. And you can discard it with 2 actions in that pretty standard way for weaknesses. I mean, Skids isn't a big card drawer. He's more about getting more actions rather than drawing lots of cards. So not a big deal for him most of the time. So there we go. So yeah, so that's Skids' deck building requirements. If we just talk about his backstory, Skids hadn't planned on a life of crime, but sometimes doing the right thing means getting your hands dirty. The cops didn't care that Skids needed the money for his mother's operation. His mother died of her illness during the 2nd year of his sentence. His cellmate Brad Hollins told him there were worse fates than death. He ranted and raved in a quiet voice every evening about the old ones, and told Skids about bizarre adventures he'd had while dreaming. Skids didn't give it much thought until the night he woke to the sight of his cellmate bursting into flames. When Skids was finally released, he returned to Arkham, looking for answers. So there we go, that's his backstory. I had a chat to Skids in the trailer, as always, just outside the woods. Thank you to Miskatonic Trailers. As always, wherever you want to go, Miskatonic Trailers can take you there. Yo. There we go. Bit of a plug for Miskatonic Trailers. So I had a chat to him about his strategy and what he's aiming to do here. So basically his strategy comes down to being able to take a lot of extra actions. He can pay for them. If Leo DeLuca turns up, he gets extra actions there. He's also got a police badge, which can give him not only a boost to his willpower, which is very handy, but also allows him, you can discard it and take an additional 2 actions as well. And he also has got Lone Wolf, which by definition, he's a lone wolf. So if he gets that on the table, it means he is gaining a resource each turn to keep that cash flow going. So a big focus on just having extra actions and as many extra actions as possible. He knows that in the Investigator games, having extra actions mean that you get to do more things, which means you are more likely to be higher up in the table, just the way that it goes. So he's going to be using that. Apart from that, he's got lots of ways to combat. So I guess Skids is relying on combat rather than clues to get his victory points. He's got machetes on board. He's got guns, he's got vicious blow, he's got big cop, he's got the guard dog, he's got hard knocks, he's got dynamite. He has really, and of course he's got overpower, and backstab and sneak attack. So he's got a million ways of fighting. I think he's hedging his bets on fighting rather than investigating. He's got a few cards for investigating, but I think he's really hedging his bets towards fighting. Things get really rough. He's got elusive, which allows him to get out of a scrape. So all in all, I think he's hoping that he's going to get the opportunity to kill some cultists to get his points, and at the same time get lots of extra actions. Well, we'll see if that strategy pays. It's a bit of a risky strategy. I guess he's a rogue, so he's sort of, risk is what he does. He likes to gamble, so he is gambling on being able to take out lots of cultists and lots of enemies in the process. And we'll see whether his gamble pays off. The other thing I should mention about these decks, because you might be looking at it going, well, that doesn't feel very optimized. As others would know, that in the Investigator games, every Investigator starts with their Fantasy Flight Games official starter deck, which are not optimized. Now, he has upgraded it a couple of times with the points that he got along the way, but they are never perfect, and that's just part of the game. So there we go. So we'll close and shuffle up the deck. Skids is just there, standing by the path. I know he's looking a bit nervous. I think he's, I guess he's reasonably understandable that he would be nervous, because he is banking on Leo DeLuca turning up, and Leo's not there yet, so that's always going to make him nervous. Traffic can be bad in Arkham. Sometimes, it gets a bit snarly, particularly during the week. So if Leo doesn't turn up, then he's probably going to be a little bit unhappy about that. So yes, he's a bit nervous. He's standing there looking at the path, waiting for things to start. So while we wait for the official horn to go off, and we are set up all here in Octagon, ready to go with the, here this tells us what happens at each of the locations and all that kind of thing, and all the big bads are all here waiting to see which one will get picked, which is a random thing, of course. We will read the agenda and the act deck. And Agenda 1A, the Arkham Woods. From interrogating members of the conspiracy within Arkham, Skids has learned that they are performing a rite of vengeance in response to the destruction of the Master's lairs. You have entered the woods, or Skids has entered the woods outside Arkham to try and stop them. The woods seem unnaturally cold and filled with a deathly silence, as opposed to a nice welcoming silence. And we have investigating the trail. The evidence that Skids has gathered has led him to the woods south of Arkham, where he believes a ritual to summon a being called Umordoth is about to take place. Steeling his resolve, he sets forth deeper into the woods, hoping to find the site of this ritual. So 4 doom for the first agenda and 3 clues. So there we go. Now we'll just wait for... there it goes. There goes the horn. It is time to start episode 3 of season 3 of the Investigator Games. Well, okay, here we are. So, what does Skids want? Yes, well, as he said, he really needs Leo DeLuca on board, of course. A weapon, machete would be good. and probably a flashlight so that he can really quite simply and effectively investigate everywhere. So let's draw many and see what we get. Okay, let's draw our 5. Oh, there's drawing the sign. Well, he can't have that. He doesn't want that. So, oh, look at this. Wow, he got 2 Leo DeLucas in one go. He'd be happy with that. Well, he obviously, doesn't want both. So, yeah, that makes sense. He's keeping 1 Leo DeLuca. Yep, he's keeping the flashlight. He's probably concerned, though, that he doesn't have a weapon. Yes, and he's actually throwing the others in and drawing 3 more, and that makes sense that he would do that. Backstab, pickpocketing, and the beat cop, so no weapon. Ooh, dear. Okay. Yes, I can see, yep, Skids is looking a little bit disappointed there. The beat cop has turned up and Leo's turned up, so he's got 2 of his allies, but can't seem to locate himself a weapon at the moment. And the other slight problem is that how's he going to pay for all of this? This is the other thing. Yes, and it's not like Lone Wolf hit the deck as well, so he's going to be a little bit short at the very beginning, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you know, that's the way it goes in the Investigator games. So there we go. So we're off and running. What's Skids going to do first? And yes, see, he's spending all of his cash and he's bringing Leo DeLuca out onto the table. There we go. Leo DeLuca on board. So that was 1 action, but we get an action back. So we've still got 3 actions, which is great. But unfortunately, we don't have any money and we don't have any... we don't have any weapons, which is a bit of a problem. The other thing is, I've just realized that the other thing that Skids didn't do in upgrading his deck was to get himself a charisma. So he can't really have the beat cop and Leo DeLuca at the same time, which is a bit of a problem as well. But anyway, we will move forward. So, what do we do here? Well, card drawing is good. It's got 3 actions. Yeah. Pretty good at evading, isn't he? It would be good to have pickpocketing out, but I don't want to waste time. You can't really waste time in the Investigator games. So I think the thing is we will jump down to one of the locations, or he will jump down to one of the locations. So Skids has moved to one of the locations. Let's flip that over. This is the Tangled Thicket. This location is investigated using Fight. Okay. So we're using Fight. An old horse trail in colonial days, this overgrown path hasn't been used for over a decade. It's only 2 shroud and 1 clue, but it uses Fight. Well, that's okay. We've got 3 fights, so, you know, that's all right. So why don't we have a go? But before we do, yes, everybody's screaming at me because, of course, when you uncover an Arkham Woods location, we have to draw from the Chaos Bag and see what we get. And we get a -2. What's that? A -2 is increase the shroud value of the current location by 1. Oh, no, really? Oh, really? What I might do is, just so we know that, is I'm going to add a -3 pick. Actually, no, because it'll get put back in the Chaos Bag, won't it? Okay, so I might just put a 3 on there so that I know that it's actually a shroud of 3 rather than a shroud of 2. So there we go. So we've still got 2 actions left. So we're really investigating at a 3 versus a 3 now. I think we just go ahead and do that. Let's see how we go. So second action, 3 versus a 3. Chaos Bag gives us a skull. Number of monster enemies, there are none, so we actually get that clue. There we go. And Skids gets his first victory point. The crowd goes wild. Yes, and then I think we will move back to the main path. There we go. So that actually wasn't too bad for a start. We brought out Leo DeLuca, first action. Well, Skids brought out Leo DeLuca, then Skids moved to the Arkham Woods. Unfortunately, the Shroud got increased to 3, but that was okay. We then successfully investigated, and then we moved back to the main path. So not too bad a start. We're really okay. But enemy phase, or the enema phase as I call it, no enemies to speak of. We'll get overpower, okay, that's not bad. I'm sure Skids will be happy with that. That gives him some more fight ability. So that's something, but the thing we're really missing is cash. That's the thing that's a problem now. Move into the Mythos phase. The first Doom is down. Let's see what the encounter deck has. And the encounter deck has Umordos Hunger. Each investigator must discard a card at random. Each investigator who has no cards in his or her hand is killed. Heal a damage from each enemy in play. There are no enemies, so we discard a card at random and we lose the overpower. There you go. Win some, lose some. Okay, we will move in to the investigation phase. 4 actions on to Skids. Okay. What I want to do here is what Skids I think wants to do. Let's see what he does. Yes. He's actually taking a resource. Okay. And then he's spending the resources. And he's bringing out pickpocketing, right, because of any evasion, you can draw a card. Oh, I see where he's going with this. Okay, and then he's moving to another Arkham Woods location. Let's see, what have we got here? The Lakeside. Lakeside, Lakeside, Lakeside. After you reveal a Chaos token from the Chaos bag while investigating this location, reveal and resolve an additional Chaos token. Oh, that's a bit nasty, isn't it? Okay, now we've moved to another Arkham Woods location, so let's see what the random effect is. And it's another -2. Can you believe it? Another -2. So we will increase that Shroud to 3. That's a bit annoying. We've got 1 action left. Let's go ahead and investigate. So again, it's a 3. Oh, what are the odds are pretty low, actually. I'm just thinking, because if we've got to resolve 2. He's got to resolve 2 Chaos tokens here. Chances of that working is pretty low. I don't know if he's going to do that. No, he's taking a resource instead. Well, fair enough. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. So yeah, not a bad round for Skids. Maybe a bit on the slowish side. He started by taking some resources to bring out pickpocketing. He then moved and then took another resource. So resources are a bit of a problem for Skids at the moment. There are no enemies or enemies to speak of. Upkeep of hospital debts. Well, you know what? No big deal. It doesn't matter. So that's all right, because, as I said, it doesn't matter about experience. It doesn't impact the victory points. That's a rule in the Investigator game. So Skids gets a literal hospital pass there. All right, let's move into the Mythos phase. 2 Doom are down. Let's see what the encounter deck has. And it's got a Mask of Mordoth attached to the furthest cultist enemy and place a Doom on that enemy. There are no cultist enemies in play. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for a cultist enemy. Draw it and attach it to the... Okay, we've had this before. We've had this particular one before. So, yeah, we will find ourselves a cultist. I think one of the Disciple of the Devourer is the good one. I think that's the main one. So we'll take one of those. We will put the cultist here with the mask, which means it's aloof. So this says the enemy gets +2 health. Attached enemy is not unique. It gains aloof. But we have a choice here. We can either place a Doom on it or put one of our clues on this location. So I think we go ahead and put the clue on this location. It doesn't impact here. We're not dropping the clue where we got our victory point, but there are now 2 clues at this location, and this is aloof. So there we go. Pretty common effect, that one. Okay, let's move in to the investigation phase. 4 actions. On to Skids. Yes, so I think the first action is, I think we bring out, the flashlight. We'll bring out the flashlight. That was our first action. Second action, let's use the flashlight. So we've reduced the shroud here to 0. So we're going to investigate, but we have to do an additional chaos token. So first chaos token is a -2 again. So that gives us a 2 versus a 3. And then we have to do an additional, I always forget what the +1. There we go, -2 +1. So so it was a 0. We were a 3, -2. So we were 1 versus 0 +1, 2 versus 0. That is a success. Get that clue. And the crowd goes wild as we get yet another victory point. And Skids is moving back to the main path and drawing himself another resource. Well, there we go. So yeah, pretty good round. We got ourselves another clue. No cultists though, but then again, we don't have any weapons. So, but you know, at least evading would give us some kind of, I'm just going to move this over here, would give us some kind of, card drawing. But anyway, we are back at the main path. We've got 2 victory points and it's only turn 3. So things are going okay at the moment. So let's move into the enemy phase. Nothing good doing there. So we'll move into upkeep and get hard knocks. Well, the problem with hard knocks is we don't have very much cash. So that's not really going to be that helpful at the moment. However, it does have a fight and an evade pip. So let's move into, really we need a weapon. Mythos phase, 3rd Doom is down. Let's see what the encounter deck has. The encounter deck has a Grave Eater. So there we go, Grave Eater is attacking Skids. That's okay. Pretty easy to evade, so we will see how we go. So yes, into the investigation, 4 actions onto Skids. What's Skids going to do here? Well, he's got to deal with this Grave Eater. Yeah, what's he going to do? Well, he's going to, it looks like he's going to evade 4 on a 2. The Grave Eater, let's see what the Chaos Bag has. 0, so that's a success. He easily evades, and because he evades, he can exhaust pickpocketing and draw a card, and there it is. That's perfect. He gets a machete. Great. That was first action. Second action, he's taking a resource. That makes sense because, yes, on his 3rd action, he is going to spend those resources and he is going to bring out the machete. So there we go. That's good. What's he going to do with his final action, I wonder? I guess he could backstab. Is he going to do that? He could move. I don't know if he'll move because what you don't want to do is move on your last turn and then have a cultist show up or something and you don't have any more actions. So it looks like he's going to attack the Grave Eater. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so Skids is a 4 on a 2. So he's going to whack the Grave Eater. 4 on a 2. It's a skull. Is it a monster enemy? It is. So it's a -1, but that's a success. And of course, he does 2 points of damage and kills the Grave Eater. Okay, there we go. So that wasn't a bad round. We evade the Skids evaded the, very deftly evaded the Grave Eater. And pickpocketed and was able to, in fact, he was pickpocketing not the Grave Eater, but pickpocketed Leo DeLuca, who had a machete in his back pocket and was able to bring that out and then use it to hack the Grave Eater to death. So, yes, it's all happening here. Yes, Leo and Skids are now blood splattered, but doing okay. It's now turn 4, but things are going to start to get bad now. I mean, that's the enema phase. Move into upkeep and get a dodge. So Skids gets a dodge, not too bad. That's probably going to be helpful. And in the Mythos phase, there are the 4 Doom. So the Mythos phase has finished. And we are still, and Skids still only has 1 clue. So not great. Let's turn that over. So, throughout the woods, a shrieking cry echoes from somewhere deeper in the forest. A score of hideous voices answer the call, inhuman as the baying of hounds, and yet articulate, repeating a singular name. Umordoth, Umordoth, Umordoth. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. And discard cards from the top until a monster enemy is discarded. Spawn that enemy in the main path and place a doom on that enemy. Okay. So we've shuffled them up. Let's see what we get. Nope. 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 Is that a monster? It is. Okay. Okay, well that's another Grave Eater, so that's all right. Now the difference now is though the ritual has begun, Umordoth, Umordoth, Umordoth. The chanting builds in intensity, echoing into the cold air of the night. The sparse clouds in the sky coalesce above the Arkham woods, blotting out the faint light of stars. Each enemy gets +1 fight and +1 evade. So the Grave Eater is now a 3/3 rather than a 2/2, so that's going to make things a little bit more difficult. There we go, but we're not finished yet because we need to draw from the encounter deck. Yeah, they're all discarded. Okay, let's see what we get from the encounter deck. Oh, hello. And it is a Rotting Remains. A Rotting Remains. Test 3. 3 versus 2. Not great. Not great. Skids is looking at his options here. He could use dodge, but I don't think we want to use dodge. I think we might need dodge a little bit later. So I think we just go ahead and take this one on the chin. A 2 versus a 3. Chaos Bag gives us a -5. Oh, boy. If there's an Ancient One enemy in play, reveal another token. Well, there isn't. So basically, we take 3 horror. 3 horror from the Rotting Remains. Well, let's put 2 horror onto Leo. We will take, and Skids will take the other horror. There we go. Not too bad. Okay. All right. Let's move into the investigation phase 4 actions. Onto Skids. All right. What's Skids going to do here? So we are now in turn 5. We've got 1 clue, so we really need, and of course this location has 2 clues on it, so once we get the 3 clues, we can progress from that perspective. So I guess probably Skids is thinking, get rid of this Dream Eater, and then probably, I think he'll move to that Arkham Woods location, because this Disciple of the Devourer is aloof, so yeah. Doesn't matter. Oh, okay. Yes. So, so probably trying to, is he gonna fight? Probably gonna fight. No. Well, evading would give Skids. He's probably weighing up whether he evades and draws a card and then bashes the Grave Eater. But I think the problem with that is just time, right? So that's going to take 2. Oh, he could evade the Grave Eater and then move and then come back and deal with the Grave Eater later. That would be the other thing he could do. Probably better just to get rid of it, though, I would have thought. Skids. Yeah. But evasion, extra cards. Ooh, yeah. You can see him and Leo discussing what they're going to do. What are they going to do? They're going to evade. They are going to evade. So a 3 versus a 4. A 3 versus a 4. A 3 versus a 5. 3 versus a 5. No. Okay. Try again. Just a 3 versus a 4 this time. Yay. Okay. Evaded. Yeah. Draw a card. Fortunately, we haven't had the cash to take an additional action, so I think Skids would probably be wanting to build up his cash reserves now for later, so he's got extra actions. I mean, he's getting extra actions from Leo anyway, but I suspect he'll want to do that. Okay, so now move into this location. Yep, as we thought. It is the Arkham Woods, the wooden bridge location. It's 3 Shroud. After you reveal a Chaos token from the Chaos bag during an evasion attempt at this location, reveal and resolve an additional Chaos token. That is a nasty effect to get when you are Skids O'Toole. Anyway, it is what it is. So we have moved into a new location. Let's see what the random effect is. And it's a cultist, which means it is indeed a cultist. A cultist spawns here. Oh, and the crowd hushes because they're wondering what it is. And we will see. And it is Wolfman Drew. Wow. Okay. Wow. So Wolfman Drew has turned up at the Arkham Woods location. Yeah, boy. Okay. This is going to be a bit of a challenge. So we've got Wolfman Drew, which is fine because that's a victory point. That's good. So this is an opportunity to get 2 victory points at this location. So, because of course there's the clues, and now we've got Wolfman Drew here. So this is a real opportunity for Skids to really turbocharge the results here. Yes, so what is Skids going to do on his final action? I suspect he's going to try and evade, I think. Even though, because the problem is, I think Skids is probably thinking, even if he does damage to Wolfman Drew is going to heal that damage as well. And then, yeah, so I think he's going to try and evade. I think so. Okay, so 4 versus 2. Oh, no, 4 versus 3. 4 versus 3. Oh, no. And you've got to draw 2. Oh, man. The odds are not looking good, are they? Odds are looking pretty crappy, actually. Maybe better to do a fight action. Maybe, Skids, what do you think? Yeah, I think he's going to do a fight action. Okay, he's going to do a fight action. But he has to draw 2 tokens, I think. Oh, no, it's a fight action, so he doesn't have to do 2 tokens. That's only for evasion attempts. So it's just a single one. Chaos bag is a -4. Nope. A swing and a miss. He's not got retaliate, has he? No, he doesn't. Swing and a miss. So there we go. So Skids started at the main path. Didn't evade, then evaded, which is fine. Then moved, and then got Wolfman Drew. Did a swing and a miss. So next time, hopefully, things will be more in Skids' favor. Enemy phase, unfortunately, Wolfman Drew does 2 damage. 2 damage we will put... I've just realised you don't put 2 onto Leo DeLuca. You're probably all screaming at me there. That was... I thought it said 3. So we'll just make that a 1. And we will put a damage onto Leo DeLuca, and we will take the other damage. Sorry about that. Whoops. Not 2 clues. Yes. Okay. There we go. Okay, we took the damage. Upkeep. Evidence. Wow, that's a nice card to get, isn't it? Because, oh yes, that's a good card. I think Skids would be pleased with that. And then, Yeah, Mythos phase. First Doom is down. Let's see what the lovely encounter deck. Oh no. Oh no, Skids. Oh. Oh no. Oh. Have we got 4 or fewer sanity? Yes, 4 or fewer. That's right. Which means it's got +2. It's a 5/5. Wow. And it's a hunter. Oh wow. This has gotten horrible and nasty very, very, very quickly. Woo. Wow. Things went from kind of okay to really bad really, really quickly. Okay, investigation phase. Poor old Skids is now facing down not only a screeching Byakhee, but Wolfman Drew. It's all happening here. Wow, what's Skids gonna do? Well, hmm. Oof. Well, evasion is really horrible here, so I don't think there's much point evading. Which is a real pity because yeah. So I think probably Skids is probably thinking he's just going to go all out and try and get these 2 victory points. And I've just realized this should be 2 clues on here because we dropped a clue. It's because we put a clue on there. It didn't put an extra one. So this is not looking good. This is not looking good. But we do have a dodge in hand, so that's something. Right. Okay. So trying to evade is just going to be a bit futile because we're drawing 2 every time, and Wolfman Drew is a 3, and this Byakhee is a 5. So I think the thing is to eliminate one of these 2. I think that's probably what Skids is thinking. 5/4/5 versus 5/4/3. Okay. This is really tough. So I think Skids is probably going to just ignore the screeching Byakhee for now and focus on Wolfman Drew. He's a 5/4/3 because he gets +1 fight, doesn't he? And we're running with the machete at a 4, so we're already 1 down. Now we've got a couple of cards, but that would only give us, we could get it to a 6 versus a 5. So actually, evasion is looking kind of like a better option, even though it's not a great option. Because at least if Skids evades, he can then backstab. He can then look at, yes. So I think Skids is going to go ahead and see if he can evade. Oh no, -3 and a -2, so that's a fail. He's going to try it again. Oh, there we go. Look at that. An elder sign and a skull. So an elder sign is +2. The skull is -1. So that's a success. We get 2 resources. Wow. So we get 2 resources for doing that, and Wolfman Drew is evaded. Okay, so we evaded Wolfman Drew, which is great, which means we can exhaust Pickpocket. We can draw, we get a guard dog. There we go. Great. So we've got some options here now about what we do next. At least what Skids does next. Yes. I don't know what Skids is going to do. I mean, Skids could backstab Wolfman Drew. But 4 versus a 5 is not great. And really only have the dodge, so you can make, so really the capacity for using backstab is not great on Wolfman Drew. The other alternative would be something along the lines of you don't really want to be bringing out the guard dog because that will just invite attacks of opportunity. And looking pretty sick. Although having the beat cop out could be good. That would give a +1 fight, so maybe that might be worth an attack of opportunity. Because then Skids would be then fighting at a 5 versus a 5 as a base. Yeah, that might be helpful, because that would make a big difference. But we would lose Leo DeLuca, which means we would lose an additional action, which means we wouldn't be able to... Oh, none of these choices are great. We've really got to hit Wolfman Drew. Skids has got to hit Wolfman Drew successfully twice at a 4 versus a 5, which is not... It's not great. All right, here we go. We can see that Skids is going to go ahead and do a 6 versus a 5. A 6 versus a 5. So 1 up. Chaos Bag gives a -1. Oh my goodness. Success. Wow. Success. 2 points of damage. 1 action left. 1 action left. Wow. Skids is going to do it again. A 6 versus a 5. 6 versus a 5. Chaos Bag. Oh, -2. Place a doom on the nearest enemy. Well, let's put a doom on 2. Okay, so that's... I don't think there's any point taking an extra action. I'm not sure. I mean, Skids could fight, but it would be at a 4 versus a 5. I think Skids is probably thinking that's probably as much as it can do at the moment. Maybe it's worthwhile. Oh, no, he is going to try, even though the chances are very low. So a 4 versus a 5. 4 versus a 5. Chaos Bank is a 0. Oh, my goodness. Wow. No. Anyway, let's move into the enemy phase. 2 horror and 1 damage. Oh dear. Onto Skids. Could have been worse though. Upkeep phase. Ah, elusive. Well, there you go. That's a good card to get right now. Let's move into the Mythos phase. Second Doom is down. Let's see what the Encounter deck has. The Encounter deck has a Grave Eater. Oh boy, this is just getting worse and worse and worse. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Investigation phase, 4 actions on to Skids. So what's Skids going to do here? I think Skids is going to try and take out the, I would have thought, Wolfman Drew, but 5 versus a 4 is not ideal, is it? It's not ideal. Skids is spending 2 to elusive away. I don't blame him. He's moving to one of the other locations I guess he doesn't want to be back at the main path at the moment. Okay, I can see why. So these enemies are all here. I suspect what Skids is going to do is try and regroup. See what he can do. First action, card draw, 45 automatic. Okay. Second action, drawing the sign. Okay, can't have more than reduced by 5, which means you can only have a hand size of 3. Okay. That's kind of annoying, but you know, that's the other weakness. So I think, yeah, going to get rid of that. Okay, so a bit of a frustrating round. I mean, Skids was able to elusive away to a revealed location with no enemies. Drew a card, but then drew a weakness and then got rid of the weakness. So there we go. All right, we move into the enema phase. Now the Byakhee moves, can't move to here from here. No, can move back to the main path. So the Byakhee is on the hunt. The other two just stay here. Upkeep, another Leo DeLuca. Well, don't really need that. We've already got one, although couldn't afford it anyway. Move into the Mythos phase. Third Doom is down. We're really getting nowhere now. Frozen in Fear. Oh dear, poor old Skids. That's not what he wanted, but I can understand why he's frozen in fear. We'll move into the investigation phase. 4 actions on to Skids. We're really kind of spinning our wheels a bit. He's getting nowhere here, isn't he? And he's got Frozen in Fear. So move, fight, and evade costs an extra action. Problem is the Screeching Byakhee will come in and do damage. Got to dodge though, so can dodge. I think it's just some more resources and maybe card drawing here then. We'll get a Vicious Blow. That's great. That's exactly what Skids needs. That's the first action. Second action gets an Opportunist. 3, 4, so yeah, that's good. So that's the second action. 2 actions left. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe draw another card. Guts. And then with the final action, get a resource. Okay. Kind of building things up. So that's good. It's the end of our go. So Skids can test the Frozen in Fear. 3 versus 2. However, can make that a 4 versus a 3, 5 versus a 3. 5 versus 3. Let's see what the Chaos Bag has. Skull, which is, I think there's only 1 monster. No, there's 3 monster enemies now. There are 3 monster enemies, so that's -3. So we were, Skids was a 4-5. No, that's so annoying. 2, 4, 5, -3 is 2. No. Okay. Enemy phase, the enemy moves in. The Screeching Byakhee moves in. This is really annoying with the Frozen in Fear, but Skids can dodge the attack. Yep. There we go. Upkeep, Lone Wolf. That would have been good at the beginning. Anyway. Okay. 4 Doom now. I don't know why it's gone red. Ah, yes, thank you. There is actually 5 Doom. So there we go. The Doom has... A dark presence approaches and you're assaulted by invisible pressures that bring you to your knees. A terrible force threatens to invade your mind and soul. Your throat clenches and your eyes water as the sensation burns through you. In player order, each investigator must test 6 willpower. Each investigator who fails must search the collection for a random basic madness weakness and add it to his or her hand. Okay, so we're testing 6. We're going to fail this. Let's see what the Chaos Bag says. This is a tablet. -3. If there's a monster enemy at your location, take a damage. Well, we do take a damage. Ouch. Wow. And now we search basic weakness. Where's that? There is somewhere where you can search for basic weakness. Draw basic weakness. There we go. Amnesia. Okay. So, oh no. Really? Really? Oh no, 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 no. Oh my goodness. Oh no. We can only keep 1 card. We're going to have to keep a card with a... Oh boy. The world, vengeance awaits. The world begins to shift and change as the ritual nears its conclusion. The air grows chilly, and the entire forest is covered in a layer of rime. The trees bend unnaturally, and their shadows lengthen into weird shapes. When this agenda advances, we're still at Act 1. Can you believe it? Set aside ritual side into play, spawn Ormadoth. If it's 2 or 3, discard all enemies. Put Ormadoth there. Okay. So there we go. We are really in a real pickle here. We are frozen in fear. We've got amnesia. Things are not looking great. If only we can get back to the Arkham Woods, that would be good. We've got no cards either. Things are not looking great from that perspective. Okay, so here we are with the Byakhee. 4 actions, frozen in fear. Let's go ahead and see if we can evade this Byakhee. We are a 5 versus a 4. Chaos Bag gives us a cultist, so we fail. We put a doom on the Byakhee. All right, let's try again at a 4 versus a 4. Chaos Bag gives us a -2, so we fail. Let's try again. Chaos Bag gives us another -2. Oh my goodness, we failed. Let's try and spend 2. This is our final action and see how we go. And we get a -1. 4 versus 4. It's not good enough, so I'm afraid that we didn't manage to evade the Byakhee. And in the enemy phase, the Byakhee does the... let's see. Well, Ligo de Luca goes. And we take 1 horror. Wow. Oh, we didn't check our frozen in fear. 0. Oh, we're a 2 versus a 3. Not good enough. Okay. Things are looking really bad. Upkeep phase. Oh, we get the police badge, which is kind of nice, but probably too late. Let's move into the Mythos phase. First Doom is down. Let's see what the encounter deck has. And it has a Grave Eater. Another one. Oh, my goodness. Let's move into the investigation phase. 4 actions onto poor old Skids. What are we going to do here? Let's try and evade the Byakhee and a 4 versus a 4. Let's just try it. First 2 actions, we're frozen in fear. Let's go ahead. Chaos Bag gives us a -1. Let's throw in the police badge to give us a 5 versus a 4. See if we can evade. Nope, We fail again. Oh my goodness. Let's try again. Nope. Let's spend our 2 resources. Gives us 1 action left. And we'll try again. No! Oh my goodness. Fail, fail, fail. And in the enemy phase, I think Skids goes down. So there we go. What a way to end things. Oh my goodness. That was terrible. How many times could you fail all of those chaos draws? Really, we just got overtaken and it just all became too much. But we ended up with, well, 2 victory points. So that's better than a kick in the pants. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. And next time we will take Wendy Adams, the survivor, through the Devourer below, and we will see how she goes. But until then, I'm Krabby Terror 8. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.